Hello fellow modelers. So, this mysterious box just landed on my workbench. What will it be? A rare prototype? A secret project? Nah, jokey, just another Focke-Wulf. And not even the fancy one, this is over 3's version. In translation, just a plastic spruce. No decals, no masks, no extras, just the vibes. Luckily, I have been ordering masks and metal parts from previous builds, like a proper modeling goblin, so we are good. And yes, this is that tiny detail deep inside the cockpit that absolutely no one will ever see. To imitate cover glass on the instrument panel, I recently switched to UV resin. Why? Because I am impatient. I have correct German RLM shades for Luftwaffe camouflages. It is important to use the correct shades. Maybe not, as you will end up with a completely different and incorrect shades after spraying of highlights and painting weathering. Now this metal set, it's from around 2007, early Eduard Focke-Wulf days. And let's just say, the new mold and all parts are not exactly best friends. So yeah, a bit of sanding, bit of forcing and lot of pretending that it's fine. The airbrush is handy for large areas and soft shading, but the paintbrush is still essential for all the small details. That is the real hero. There is not much space left for seatbelts. When it doesn't work by force, it works by greater force. The cockpit is clearly missing some LCD screens and GPS navigation. I mean, every aircraft has that, right? To fix that, I'm using holographic nail foil to simulate displays. And speaking of LCDs, I cannot omit to paint buttons and switches. It is old aircraft, so touchscreens would be a bit too futuristic. As we are used to, black enamel wash makes the details optically more pronounced. The blue seat cushion looks too uniform, so I had to paint scratches or fabric folds with a light blue shade. It is not mistake, it is weathering. And probably some scratches on the grey surface as well. You can use decals for production place cards or labels, or if you have a steady hand and sharp paintbrush, you can paint them. To use pre-painted metal parts is not very meticulous, so we can improve the buckles and sling straps with the paint. They told me this kit fits well, and I must admit that the person who told me this was right. This super thin glue from Tamiya works beautifully. Just press parts together, touch it with a glue and let capillary action do its magic. Basically, science happens. The wheel well looks complicated, but I have seen worse. Yes, every modern jet aircraft. There is a hole in the wing, so I sealed it with a piece of a plastic. Advanced engineering solution. The radial engine is hardly visible, but I can at least paint it silver and the valve tappets black. I don't want to bother with the spark plug wires this time. Black wash nicely highlights the air-cooled cylinders. And this is the last time we will ever see them again. Goodbye. The seam lines are cleverly placed directly on the pan lines, so with a small amount of glue, you do not need to use much filler. I'm spraying propeller silver. Even the real Focke-Wulf propeller was made out of wood. This is the only one mistake on this model. And I use Alcat polished aluminum for the spinner to make it even shinier, because nothing says well-maintained aircraft like a shiny spinner. Even the kit has a perfect fit, you will end up with a soft seam line on the fuselage and leading edge. I like to unify these issues with a black flexible superglue. The black is good since you can see the mess on the surrounding surface or superglue fingerprints on the wings. Before painting, clean the model of the grease and dust. Alcohol works best for the model and the modeler. I use a spare cockpit canopy as a temporary mask, fixed with a PVA glue. You should recreate button lines and rivet lines after filling. Handy is if you have a riveting wheel, which makes the whole process much easier. I only recommend using a masking tape as a guide, since it's very easy to make the rivets obliquely. To increase speed and reduce weight, I remove guns. Yes, this is now racing aircraft. Priorities. The model is ready for painting. Today we will build something that never existed, but should. Behold the Red Bull Luftwaffe racing team. I use this drawing and lean acrobation special as an inspiration, but it will be slightly different. Wait, I didn't mention that it will be what if model already. Okay. What if models is one of my favorite subjects. No rules, no limits, just pure creativity and zero historical accuracy. The yellow usually has a poor coverage, so spray it before the blue shade. And Tamiya paint isn't very resilient, so I must fix it with a layer of a clear varnish. Speaking about blue shade, I finally found a purpose for the Tamiya X13 metallic blue. I must admit that these paints are good, since I have them for many years and are still nicely fresh and not dry out. I mean, if you do not open them. I thin paint with a Tamiya retarder lacquer thinner. The retarder prolongs drying time, so the layer is nicely smooth and has more time to spread evenly on the surface. This shade is simply lovely, and not what we are usually used to for Luftwaffe aircraft. Funny fact, I designed these decals 7 years ago, so this project is only slightly delayed, like trains in the UK. If you do not own a printer with a white paint, I recommend this website that offers printing of your own designs. It is not costly and great if you want to make something special. The work with the decals is the same as you are used to. Apply them to the water, use a bit of decals chemicals and transfer them to the model's surface. I applied the decals directly on the paint without any protective layer of a varnish. And it caused a few troubles later, so I recommend spraying a soft layer of a clear varnish before applying decals. I made a mistake 7 years ago and forgot to mirror the bulls, so I improvised a bit and used the bulls which were intended for the elevator. The wheels have a center disc as a separate part, so you don't need to use some masking. The yellow circle overlaps to the wheel well. To trim it down, I use a sharp blade. These old decals had a problem setting into the button lines and rivets, so I used toothbrush brute force technique. The soft fibers nicely penetrate decals film and make the underlying details visible again. The final layer of a clear varnish makes the decals more glossy and unifies the whole surface. The model still looks very uniform. We can play a bit with the oil paints. I choose a dark blue shade, which makes the surface details more pronounced. And black for silver belly. And this is the final result. What a beautiful shading. Nah, jokey, I use a gloss varnish, so now I can easily wipe off the excess oil paint with a dry paper napkin. It is racing aircraft, but at longer distances it still needs extra fuel tank. Try to make it symmetrical, or just don't look too closely. The last step is to paint more shading and break the surface optically with a dark blue oil paint. I am applying small dots on the rivets and trying to achieve a stronger color contrast around different panels and raise details. I found handy soft flat brush for blending. You do not need to use any thinner at all. This technique works best with a dry brush. And I cannot omit a small weathering. Exhaust stains should be present even on the racing machine. Primarily makes the surface slightly more interesting and brings a nice contrast to the clean surface. I know that it is only what if model, but I cannot ignore brake lines. I use LED wires that are flexible and easy to shape. And with the landing gear indicator pins in place, the model is finished. Historians cry, modelers argue, but I'm satisfied and really enjoyed this unconventional Focke-Wulf in a Red Bull style. Reality is occasionally boring. That is why we sometimes have to give it a little polish. Okay, I hope you like this tin can in some way, and see you next time with something more serious. Thank you for watching, and here's the final presentation.